Good evening, everybody. Julie here, and welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, I do a lot of different videos, and this one is going to be one of my, I'm going to say child advocacy ones. And I hear so much. One, I'm a guardian ad litem volunteer for the state of Florida, so I see children in foster care. And to tell you it's bad out there is an understatement, and it's not just here, it's every single state, every single country. Child abuse and trafficking has become a horrible situation. I do a lot of child advocacy videos, and I suggest if you have children and they have access to online video games and phones, that you learn about online predators. I've got a couple videos out on that because they're preying on your children. They start playing games or getting into the apps with them, and they don't know that they're talking to adult. They're talking to adult. They think they're talking to somebody they're their own age because they're kids. They don't know better, and they're being lured into things and then blackmailed and everything. So what I wanted to do is, today is March 18th, okay? And I have a Facebook page called Hope for Our Children's Future. So I said, well, you know what? I said, I'm getting ready because April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. So I started out at the beginning of the month, and I put a bunch of videos and of educational ones. But along with the educational ones, I always start looking at cases. It's very easy to find them. All you got to do is watch the nightly news and you'll find some. But these are from all over the United States, and I just wanted to list some of them. I'm not going to say names of all of them. I might say names of some. Some of them I found on YouTube. Some of them found on my local news channels, or just on the news, different news channels. So, you know, I just want to give you a thing. This is just daily stuff, the stuff that I found in the last month. So, 2 people charged with child abuse and neglect in the death of a 2-year-old girl. Parents sexually abused sons they adopted in House of Horrors. Young boy stapled to the wall, beaten to death, and worst child abuse case, one of the worst child abuse cases the prosecutors had seen. That one was on the Long Crime Network. And then I have one called Silent Cries, the Mercedes LaRosa story. I can't even explain to you everything that happened to that poor little girl. It was from Texas. Florida boy 10 fighting for his life after he was tortured. And that's here in Florida, and there's been a couple different stories on that. Florida mom and boyfriend arrested at bar after toddler found in the car alone. Entire family accused of horrific child abuse as kids are found in their own waste. Worst parents, 7 children starved in most disturbing neglect case. Woman charged with DUI crash with unbuckled child in the car. Then we have a story about a 15-month-old that was killed from fentanyl. Then we have a young girl named Carrie's story. She was trafficked. And these next ones, I'm just going to say their names. The stories are on YouTube. But I'm going to put my link, Hope for Our Children's Future. You do have to, I believe it's set up to, I have to approve you to join because we had some people that were spamming people. But if you want access to this, there's going to be more stuff coming up. We have Carrie's story, and this is the trafficking series that I have. There's 6 episodes. There's Carrie's story. There's Mary McDowell's story. There's a Matilda Sargosa story, Kia Vawar's story, Jessica Wesley's story, and Megan's story, and then Catherine McDow's story. Then we have starving baby looked like a Holocaust survivor in ER. A church volunteer accused of abusing inappropriately touching 5-year-old. A woman charged after a crash that killed her 2-year-old. Florida parents abused and adopted kids until an 8-year-old's organs failed. Missing Florida teen killed after meeting man on dating app. Then there was a 4-year-old. Detectives have never seen such a brutality. The disturbing case of Liliana. And then there was another disturbing case of a tragic case of Emily Behringer. These are our true crime documentaries that here. And another one, a 16-month-old beaten to death in foster care. The Alyssa Guernsey story. Georgia mom killed baby with a blow dryer. Lady left her kids in filthy, inhumane conditions. They used the tub as a toilet. Florida teen kidnapped, killed, dismembered after meeting man on social media. Father pleads guilty to manslaughter after forcing child to jump on a trampoline in 100-degree temperature. Mom's shocking excuse for not feeding toddler for 35 hours. Baby girl found dead in trash can months after disappearing. Baby goes missing, mother questioned. This is baby Lisa's disappearance, and it is a series by Megan Kelly. Couple charged as baby suffers various injuries. 20-year-old charged with kicking infant in the head. Teacher used AI to morph students into child porn. 340-pound woman locked up for sitting on and killing foster son. And that's just the ones I found in a month. So it's heartbreaking. It is really, really heartbreaking. And I could find hundreds, probably thousands more. There's also the Gabriel Fernandez, I think that's files on Netflix. It's a docuseries. I think it's got 6 or 8. That one's eye-opening too. Also, a very interesting read to me is let's see. There's let me see if I can find it on here. Let's search my page here. The Miami Herald did a study, and it's called Innocence Lost, Preserving Families but Losing Children. So they did this study in Florida over it was either a 2 to 4 year period. And this is going through the files of the cases handled in the state of Florida. And between 400 and 500 children were killed in that period. In homes, it's either their parents, their guardian, their foster parents, their adoptive parents, and it's horrifying and heartbreaking. Florida wants to do everything they can to reunify parents with their children. Because let's face it, the children don't know that the way they're living is not the way it should be. They don't know that they're not supposed to be suffering from this abuse and neglect and everything. They love their parents, even though there's just horrible things being done to them. They just don't know. And it's the most traumatic thing you can do to remove them from the families. I've had children say they hate everybody who's taken them away from their parents. They hate the judge, they hate the lawyers, they hate the caseworkers, they hate everybody because they took them away from their mommy and daddy, even though they were being harmed. You know, so it's this fine line, and Florida's real big, and there's a lot of states. They do everything they can to reunify the parents. But I think after a certain point, we've really got to start questioning this, because there's cases that you close a case and then they're back, and you close it again and it's back, and you close it again and it's just this vicious cycle. How much is enough? How many times are you going to let the parents mess up before you do something about it? And then there's people that has baby after baby, and every one of them's taken away from them, and they keep having more babies, and they keep harming every one of them. After a certain point, enough is enough. We have to do something to protect these innocent babies. And I don't know what it is. If you know in the comments, if you have any ideas, I think we need to form groups to talk about this. That was one of the reasons for me doing the Hope for Our Children's Future on Facebook, because one of the biggest things is to educate people, because the biggest thing you hear is people don't realize. They're like, oh my God, you could have something happen in a community right now and everybody's going to be, oh my God, I didn't know anything like that's happening. I can't believe that's happening. And it happens all the time. So we just have to figure out a way. I think there should be committees all over every state. The whole country should step together and do this. And trafficking is out of control. These children there were children coming out of over the border. They had wristbands on them and a name tag, or a tag with somebody's name to contact. These people weren't vetted. They just gave the children to whoever's name was on there. And they're lost. They have no idea where they are. And they're being trafficked. And you know what? Trafficking is not going to end. It's a $150 billion business. There are always sickos out there who are going to watch it. Therefore, we're never going to end it. But we've got to make people pay for harming these children this way. And they don't even recruit the way they used to. You know how? Your iPad, your cell phone, all of that. If your child has access to this, has access to online video games, who has access to apps, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, any of them, they don't know who they're talking to. They don't understand that there are adults on there that mean to harm them. There are stories. I was watching a Dr. Phil one, and these kids, they were talking to somebody, and they talked them into sending them a picture. And the sad thing is, this case was a young man. And then they said, if you don't do this, we're going to share the picture with your family, your friends. And a lot of them were from other countries, which is sad in some of these cases. Not all of them, but some of them. So then they're blackmailing them for money. And then when the child said, I don't have anything else to give you, and they kept threatening and threatening, and there's been multiple cases where the children have committed suicide because they don't know what else to do. They don't want to go to their parent and say, hey, I sent pictures of myself to somebody, and it's happening to males and females. And it's heartbreaking. And we've got to watch our children, folks. Don't let a phone be a babysitter for you. Don't leave your children unattended on them. You know what? You can put all the parental locks you want on them. Their kids are smart. A lot of them will figure it out. But one of the wonderful things I heard, I thought was a good idea, is when I went to to our local human trafficking summit that the investigator said, you know what you should do? Every night, you lock them phones up in your room with you. Have a charging station and lock them in that charging station and say, this is it. You're not getting your phones at night, because that's when the most preying happens. They can be preyed on at any time, but you cannot protect them if you're sleeping and they're there and talking to somebody. We've got to find a way to stop it, guys. It's so dangerous. I know that it's so easy to hand our children a phone or a tablet because it keeps them occupied. But children are being desensitized nowadays. They see video games with murder. Nothing phases them anymore. And I've talked to teens and I've heard teens say, nobody cares. And I'm like, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? What has your teacher? Oh, our teacher just wants, teachers, a lot of them don't care. They just want them to, it's my job to teach you, not to worry about this, that, and the other. And I can't believe that things like that are said to people, to children, and they're children. And that's the sad thing. We're trying to push so much on children that should not be pushed on children, folks. You've got to cut off the internet because they're getting so much dangerous stuff from the internet. You've got to only let them use it when you're there. It could save your child's life. And that's it. That's all I've got for y'all tonight. I'm really troubled because I just heard of a case where a 2-month-old was shaken and is probably not going to make it. So I didn't go over that one yet. I got to find the video for it. It's just so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. It just, I'm like, when is this going to stop? It's never going to stop. It's just going to keep happening. How do we stop it? But I was so wound up. I said, I got to do a video. I got to help people protect children. I've got to have, listen, in Florida, everybody's a mandated reporter. Learn the signs, because your child may come to you and say, I think my friend's in trouble. What should I do? And then you can fill out the situation. We don't want to accuse somebody that hasn't done anything, but we don't want to not say nothing, because how would you feel if you didn't say nothing and your kid's best friend later turned up dead and they asked you what you could do, what for them to do? My friend told me that this was happening to her. And you say, well, it's none of my business. How do you think your child would feel if their best friend died because you were like, it's none of our business? So, you got to think things through, folks. It's hard. It's a hard, hard world. It's so difficult. But that's the video for tonight. I hope you'll like, comment, subscribe, share. Don't forget, there's a lot of other videos that are a lot more uplifting than this video is. I have the Bible recap. We're doing reading the Bible a year in chronological order. With the Bible recap as our guide. I do Avon videos. We do Temu videos sometimes. Travel videos, because I love to travel. We're doing the 50 states of America. So there's a lot of fun, uplifting things here. Some reviews, some inspiration, just all kinds of cool things that is not as heavy as this, but I just felt I needed to do this video. I am so thankful for you. If you're still here listening to this, I'm going to put my Facebook page in the description. That way you can find it. It might ask you, I think I set it to ask a question and for me to approve it. Or I might just set it to that I have to approve it. But I'm just doing that to safeguard the group. But I thank you so much for watching and sticking with me. And I hope that you have an awesome, blessed night. And we'll see you in the next video. Good night.